What makes a good ending? But before that, in my last video, there were quite a few things that I could point out that I could improve on. I don't like that I had to use full black screens to censor my personal info and other things I couldn't show. And I definitely struggled with editing, since it was my first time using the editing program. I think the script was alright. Some parts could use some work. But the thing I thought about the most was how I didn't know how to start or end the video. The script felt like it had a good beginning and end, but in the process of editing I thought, wow, this is bland. Starting off immediately with my video would be too straight to the point, and that's why I decided to put the stuff on screen about how long it took to make the video. This would be more interesting than seeing a script being written the moment you open the video, I think at least. It's like going to the cinema or watching a movie at home, and the movie instantly throws you into the action. No cinematic preview of the setting or the characters beforehand. And I'm not saying you can't do that. On the contrary, I believe those beginnings are more entertaining if done right. However, the immediate action has to be able to grab your attention. And I won't be able to grab anyone's attention using a docs document. That is one thing I have to work on for sure. I'm okay with what I did in my previous video, considering that I had no idea where I was gonna go to begin with. However, now that I've had some time to think, I believe that I won't start off every video with a black screen covered with text. Maybe one line of text is alright, but it has to be captivating. Maybe something like, what makes a good ending? That's the question I came up with earlier today. It wasn't because of my video actually. Today, the last chapter of the manga Chainsaw Man was released. It was the grand finale to something fans had been hyped up about for a long time. I was definitely intrigued, as much as the other fans were, but after reading the final chapter, I felt disappointed. This wasn't how it would end, and really, that's it? Were the first thoughts. But after letting it sit for a while, and looking at the other responses from the community, I thought to myself, this is an ending. People were divided, some content, others angry and disappointed, but in the end, this is what Fujimoto, the creator of Chainsaw Man, came up with and published. That was me venting about the Chainsaw Man ending. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Anyways, the way the manga ended was in my opinion a great one. It had a definite conclusion. Some things are left unanswered, but the reader knows that it has ended. That is what an end is supposed to be like. Be it in movies, literary works, songs, videos, anything really. My goal is to give you that feeling. Everything in between I can work on later, but for right now, I should work on a good way to end my videos. Most YouTube videos end differently depending on what they are about. Vlog and IRL stuff use things like lo-fi and music and visuals that relax you. Gaming videos use more upbeat or intense music, paired with some pictures from the game or gameplay. A lot of videos in general use the channel-specific end screen, paired with stuff like, if you enjoyed this video, then you should watch this video. Since I have no clue what my content falls under, I feel like it has to lean into the more generic ending, which kinda makes me sad. I'm coming close to the 1 hour mark of script writing, which means I have to start finishing up sometime soon. Luckily, I just had a realization. I will make my own ending. It doesn't matter if people don't like it, it is still the ending I came up with. Just like with Chainsaw Man, I believe that Fujimoto created an ending he is happy with, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I want to use music, that's for sure. But since I'm not sure on the genre that fits, I will use a genre that I personally like. Breakcore. Breakcore generally is very inconsistent, either being pretty relaxing or incredibly hardcore. overall I enjoy the relaxing one more often. I would love to use a different outro song on every video I make, but that would take a lot of effort to find one I am happy with. So maybe I will switch between a couple of tracks. For now, I'll see what I'll come up with. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon.